if you are going to do a physics-based game, I strongly recommend you use a physics engine because we could have spent 2 whole semesters trying to make our own. It wouldn't have worked nearly as well, and the game wouldn't have even been that much of a crap little physics engine.
And that's a trap that a lot of other groups have fallen into with Studio, is that they just say, no, we just want to make our own physics engine, and then they end up spending 2 semesters just on that, and then the game that results by the end is usually pretty average.
Like, there was another platformer, and I think the main problem was having the player go up a ramp, because obviously there's a force pushing you down, you need another force pushing you back up so you can go up the ramp properly, and in the end I think they scrapped the whole
ramps.
If
you want to spend a whole year programming physics, you can do it.
Don't get your hopes up, I guess.
Well, I know of another group that completely fell apart because they didn't have a good project manager, so each role is actually quite important.
You're putting the right people.
Don't push things.
Don't do anything.
Oh yeah, can we turn the light off?
Okay, it's on the...
Don't anger the computer.
I'm losing my high score here, come on.
Losing your high score.
Okay,
Poor baby.
so like what I said in the short presentation, it's a physics-based platformer. Use your magnetic polarity, that's positive, that's negative, and you turn it clockwise and counterclockwise. And the aim is to get to the screen or the thing in each level. Starts off simple, then you need to go through some obstacles here.
And they start off with basic things, and then as you go through the game, you get into more.
We didn't really want to give any players explicit instructions, so we started things off really simple with just a door, then a bit of obstacles, and then finally a platform. And if I turn negative, I get sucked towards it. If I go positive, I get repelled.
So yeah, we tried to make a very nice learning curve for the player while they're going through the first few levels.
Is this course only at the Clayton campus?
This one's a
Caulfield and Berwick, I believe.
Berwick is more the multimedia side of it.
Okay.
Whereas pure games, programming, game design
Tom,
direction
you're
is
losing
far
your
more.
touch. You're losing your touch.
Okay.
Should practice last time.
So yeah, as you can see, we haven't gone for really a graphics.
Yeah, we went for gameplay over graphics, because obviously if we're not going to enjoy playing it, it's not going to be fun to develop.
Which is a large reason behind why it was so successful, I think.
In finishing it actually, because graphics also takes a long time.
Yeah, the
and
scope of the project was only 1 year, so we tried to keep it pretty minimal.
Keeping it simple helps with level design as well.
Is there any cost in making this?
Zero.
No.
Box Studio is a free physics engine. That was the main third-party library we used.
So like after Monash, we've now put this up on the Apple App Store, not the
Mac.
Store,
The Mac.
So we're not
App
iPhone
Store,
developers.
which had some costs for publishing.
So if you happen to have a Mac, you can get it. We also have 5 copies of the PC version. To see if I can.
And to aid level development, we also made a level editor, which I'll show you quickly.
Yeah. Whereas previously, before that, it was programming. You had to program
I'm
the
going to
levels.
let it on the screen. If I make a new level, it's called
We don't really need sound.
Be nice to show.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, so that you can send sound.
You can see here's the level we're currently creating.
So yeah, it's very simply straight lines.
And it is much easier if you have a level editor to make your levels.
Yeah.
Compare a time of sitting down for an hour programming the rotation.
The levels are in XML, so initially we had to just sit there coding them in XML, changing values to make sure they're in the right positions and stuff. Level editor made it a lot quicker.
So making your own games, I'd highly recommend making a level editor because it will improve your level design times significantly.
Is it particularly hard to make a level editor?
Yeah.
Instead of studying for exams like I should have been doing, I was making a level editor.
So Tom sort of sacrificed a quite large deal of time
So it was somewhat worth it.
to get the level editor, but it is worth it if you can get it done because then it's just so fast.
Did you use any resources, Tom, when you were just programming from scratch?
This user interface OpenGL user interface library, so this also works the same on Windows.
Thank you very much. Yeah, any issues, just music is familiar.
Quickly make levels.
How did you go about doing your music?
We made our.
I think the first one we made was in GarageBand, which is a Mac thing, and then Jason.
Whereas I took over with the music
Yep.
after that.
So
So program called was it Sony Acid something.
yeah. So
Very good program for making music, nice and quick.
So yeah, we have our own music because we wanted to avoid any sort of infringements. And the actually funny story, the original name of the game was actually Polarity, but we did some research about 3 months before the project finished, or 4 months, something like that.
No, I think that was in the first semester.
End of
About 2
first
weeks
semester.
before the end of the first semester.
We did some research and we found out the game already was called Polarity. It was already
Similar
out. So
sort of
we had
concept
to-
with magnets and stuff, except it was an action-based game, action-based platform rather than a puzzle-based
Which
based
is
platform.
what Taj's original idea
Yeah.
was in the very beginning. It was more of a magnet boots kind of
We
thing.
had more of like a humanoid character running around jumping, then we went for a more simplistic geometric
And
sort of thing.
we're glad we changed the name because the people that made Polarity actually contacted us and said they had a play of our game, and I was like, phew, thank God we changed that.
So always be very careful with your game.
Yeah. If you're gonna make a game, just research, make sure there's not already something already out there
Research
like
is
that.
actually the key thing, I think,
Yeah.
in everything. I mean, finding box 2D, finding the right stuff to get the sound to work, researching code snippets that you can take, free code snippets that you can take and edit. It really speeds up production.
Are you gonna put on like Flash games? Like Flash game sites?
If we wanted to do that, we'd have to make a Flash version. Right now, it's just done in C++, OpenGL.
Are you guys working on through Steam?
Yeah.
We had a look at Steam, except to get onto Steam, your game has to be already successful.
It's a catch-22
Yeah.
situation. Your game needs to do well, but then how's your game going to do well? So
Chicken or egg.
I think they do take developers that they already had successful.
Yeah.
I think if you're a big name developer, they'll automatically put you on there, but unfortunately we're not.
No, we're
Believe it
just
or
like,
not.
yeah. So,
Any questions?
Does magnetic field strength drop off over distance?
yes.
Yes.
We,
And also you can change that within the editor as well, so if I want to make a really strong platform, I can.
spent a little bit of time actually making sure that was the case.
We at first had it as constant, if like any point in the field was a constant strength, and then we changed that to more of a gradient strength.
I thought, may as well if we're going for a physics-based
Yeah.
puzzle game to go all the way.
we'll see how it works with that program.
And it can get quite confusing with overlapping ones.
So yes, he's made a super strong magnetic field of wood, as you can see. Alright. So yeah, pretty much. You want us to go
Who wants
into
to play
what
it?
we-
Anyone want to play it?
Anyone who wants to play it?
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to play? Come on.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of it will make a lot more sense once you actually play it.
Also, were there any other like really big significant like hurdles that you went through that you probably say never do this or anything like that?
We waste a lot of time on the tests.
Make people high score.
Never do.
Like something that you looked at like we really should have done that differently or something like that. Problems that you.
The problem with our thing was that we made sure our scope was very small to begin with. So we actually
To
managed.
begin with, it was a bit sort of all over the place.
Yes.
And we had different concepts that we kept changing.
So if we were all on the same page to begin with, that would have saved us time.
Yeah.
But after we got all on the same page, we kept the scope pretty small. As you can see, we didn't go into graphics, for example. We just cut that completely, and that saved us time.
I think the key for a project like this, where you have a deadline set, sort of, you should not try and do too much,
Yeah.
especially the students.
Yeah, there are a few groups that tried to put way too much in and they didn't end up with a polished product.
Yeah.
Scope creep.
So what, after this, what do you have planned for the future?
With this game or just in
Or
general?
just anything? Or like,
Well, the only one of us who actually has a job.
I've been working as just a generic iPhone programmer, nothing games related just yet, except my boss is sort of interested in games And also, we were sharing is anyone familiar with Big Ant? AFL Live 2011. The people that made that, we were actually sharing some floor space with them, so I was mingling with those guys, talking to them about what they were doing, stuff like that, so that's cool.
And we also nearly had to deal with Bachelor, which is a games company in the city.
Has anyone played Train Conductor for the iPhone?
Yeah.
Yeah, Voxel Agents made that, and they contacted us. They were interested in our idea, and they said they'll get back to us. We waited for about 3 months, and they ended up saying no. So, if you do get contacted by somebody, don't get your hopes up because.
Myself,
At the same time, they did say they needed to do research. So,
Yeah.
Companies do need to know
Where they're putting their money.
If they're going to be, making
Money.
pretty much.
myself and Tash got job interviews at Boxer originally through interviews with them through this game.
So pretty much, the course gave them a piece of portfolio that was impressive enough to get them a interview straight off the bat.
And your portfolio is one of the most important things when you're going for a job in the games industry.
Getting a job can be quite hard, but best thing to do is just have a body of work to show off.
Someone's gonna go if they want.
Anyone else want to have a go? Start on the first level of this one.
I'll start with this one.
Good luck.
Have you created any like impossibly hard levels?
Yes.
There's a trick one that looks ridiculously hard, but the trick is you only have to hold down one polarity button. Don't touch the rotation keys. You'll do
Okay.
it. And then the very last level
Yeah.
took Jason, I think, 3 days straight to beat.
It took me 4 hours non-stop to beat his damn last level,
Because he wanted an extremely hard level.
which really annoyed me as game design. I'm like, you
But
don't
then-
have levels that take 4 hours for someone to beat.
Then when he beat it, he obviously.
Yeah, once I beat it, then I shut up.
Yeah. Do you have any like inspiration for this?
For the game.
Um,
Yeah.
Taj was our inspiration basically, so let's go into
I'm
that.
a bit crazy about Nintendo games. Mario Galaxy, obviously.
Alright.
That's a bit of an influence. There's also this little game called I always go and blank now. Orbital, which I think is on WiiWare. And it's like you move a planet around, and your buttons are just gravity and anti-gravity. You gotta like orbit around these planets.
And there are some levels that are clearly inspired by different games. Like I based one level off an old Atari game for called Fishing Derby, which was set in water. There's another one that's set off like it's based on a pinball kind of game.
Okay.
And there's another one that's like snakes and ladders, that kind of thing.
I had this elaborate plan to make a narrative-driven adventure game with characters and plot. And
Yeah.
decided to turn it down.
Yeah, it wouldn't really fit into the puzzle.
Well, we did look into it and we did try.
It just would have been a lot of work.
Eventually, we sort of went just gameplay and yeah.
You don't always need a big story for a game to be good. Look at
Yeah.
Tetris.
At the same time, some games live on their theme and their story, so you have to know what genre you're going to and what the gameplay is.
Whereas puzzles, you don't really need a story. Depending on the game.
Yeah, Paul has a story. Quite similar to Slow.
So what did you try to do for the story?
Anyone else want to have a go?
Like a sci-fi thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a kind of generic robot in space.
If you ever want to cycle through the levels,
These square bracket buttons.
I guess I was going more for a
so
sort
you can
of
see the one level for free.
art design thing rather than story.
Alright.
And just having a setting. As it is, it doesn't really have a setting. It's just shapes.
Yeah.
But
With Game Studio, which is in the third year, I'd say recommend to people is to never be scared to try something different. You might have only ever done programming on chemical so far, but you've never done game design. Give it a try. If you've never done music, I'd never made a music song, like any music in my life before this. Got into it, made 4 songs, loved it. So never be scared to try different things.
And there's a lot of opportunities to try anything that you want to try in this course because you're making a game. Anything
It's completely your idea. If you want to make a 3D game, you can. 2D game, you can.
And that's kind of the reason why a project manager is quite important in this, is because you are setting your own timelines like your own deadlines. The only thing the course cares about is that you have a sort of semi-prototype by the end of the first semester. Semi sort of maybe. It can be buggy as all hell as long as it's there. While
And then the second semester is obviously polishing it up, finishing things off.
yeah, so
But they still want you to say basically finished prototype
Yes.
completely by the end of the second semester.
so pretty much it's all up to you when it comes to when you want things done. I think originally we wanted just a room with all the different elements in it. Three rooms?
Three rooms.
3 rooms with all the different elements in it. So that we can just say, well, this is our concept and this is our proof of concept. It works and it's fun. And after that, we
His first try.
First attempt.
Wow. No one's beaten this one.
very nice. Very nice.
Second.
Second?
Second.
Not good.
Not good enough.
Makes the difference.
Here you see some of the different elements we have in it. It's not just magnets. You also have things like pinball bumpers, lasers. Later on there's mines.
Have you considered making like a very polished version of this and like trying to get it out there? With all this
Selling it.
It's on the Mac App Store.
We're selling it.
Go on
As a
that,
group,
fantastic.
We're all kind of going separate ways.
Yeah, Taj is kind of going to Japan.
He's teaching us.
And I'm happy to work with the guys, but we will need to sort of work out exactly what we want to make. That's the problem. And when we can get together and such. Yeah.
And I do my own games in my spare time. Mostly remakes of old games.
Do you guys like do any personal programming projects, stuff like that? Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, best thing if you want to get a job and you're serious about it is to start now or start as soon as you can to just have something to show off.
I'd recommend remaking old games. Like super old games just to teach you basic fundamentals of certain things. Like Space Invaders is like a very
Even better
easy.
than that is original projects.
Well, of course. But I think get your skills up to a certain level and then once you know how to do most things you can actually then just not learn.
Is this one on OpenGL?
OpenGL, C++.
I think I don't remember. Oh yes, we chose OpenGL so it could be multi-platform.
Yeah, because I got a Mac and I didn't want to have to dual boot whenever I wanted to work on it. That was the main reason. And then
Yeah.
obviously we had a version that was ready for the App Store, which is cool.
Wasn't the main reason for OpenGL because we were learning that.
Yeah, we were also doing it in AI.
Which is a subject in third year. Very, very hard subject.
So the laser thing,
That hard.
At the time it was.
like the laser thing is they only push you
They
around.
push you away. And initially people always try to avoid them, but in later levels you actually have to use them to your advantage to get propelled over gaps and stuff.
And this originally was the first level of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had some tutorial levels for it. Yeah.
That's why it's called First Steps.
Because it combines most of the elements and it's more difficult than the learning levels.
A lot of the early levels design were mainly just set up to showcase certain elements,
Just introduce the players to each of the separate elements and then put them all together when you get to the real levels.
as well as us as well. So we see how everything works.
So right from the start, were you planning on making a puzzle-based game, or did you have other ideas?
Well, the studio works, at the start there was like, everyone in the class, about 15 people.
All come up with
Yeah,
ideas.
I think this was the first session we had. Everyone just started chucking out ideas, writing down on the whiteboard, combining ideas.
Then you sort of solidify ideas, and people sort of decide the project they want to work
Yeah.
on, and that's how you form groups.
Some people wanted to do 3D
Yeah.
games. Others wanted to do 2D. Other ones didn't care.
One thing I'd suggest, don't do a 3D game.
If you're doing a 3D game, make sure you use an engine. Don't try to do it in OpenGL.
If you're doing a 3D game, you have to have plenty of time and plenty of, effort to do that because it's
If you go 3D, your chances of failure in 2D is a lot higher. Or at
But
least
then again, there are some groups with really good games.
Let's say failure.
well, no, like there was one group.
Yeah.
There was one group that did a racing game and did
That
really
But they
considering they went 3D.
they used a third party light. What was it called? The C# one.
That was Mad Cap Dash.
But it's what they used to develop for the Xbox 360.
Yes, that's C#.
No, but what was the library called?
Library. The physics lab.
Oh, the physics library was Jigglybex.
Yeah, Gigabex.
Anyone want to go?
Good fun. Go check.
So working as a team, how much contact time did you actually have?
Apart from
Studios were 4 hours a week together, and then obviously we go home to our own things, collaborate everything next week.
yeah,
Communicating by MSN and usual things as well.
we would communicate
Digitally, of course.
frequently over
digitally.
the week as well. Like,
So how did you deal with all these separate parts coming together? Was
that was my job. I
Yeah,
had to
it'll-
make sure everyone was doing something that would go into the main project, or at least we're having a look at seeing if it would work. So I'd have to make sure all the times are right. So if we need text for Tom's programming to get the text up on the screen, then someone needs to do the text stuff.
Any of you guys familiar with object-oriented programming? Well, pretty much everything's split into different objects. We have different C++ files. So I might be working on the laser file. Sasha might be working on the text file, and then in the next section we just combine everything together.
Yeah, you can also use Dropbox, which is, you have one copy on Dropbox, so there's the final copy that everyone works on.
Although if you can get a repository, I recommend that because that handles source control for you, and also you can look back in the past and see what the files were like 10 months ago, stuff like that.
Often people were on tasks too that didn't affect other people. Like I was the main person for a while who was working on the sound
That's
stuff.
the way I handled it. I was trying to make sure everyone was on tasks that wouldn't affect other people's tasks. So problems arose. I remember that John's group had a particular bad problem with that first semester because they took about an hour in each studio class to get all their files together.
And then they switched to a repository, and that worked really well.
Yeah. So if you're going to all be working on the same sort of files instead of doing separate files, you're going to have to use like a repository of some kind.
But make sure there's team communication going on.
Yeah.
Very important to know what everyone else is doing rather than being in the dark.
From the start, it's good to sort of align yourself with people you see eye to eye with, so you're all working to the one goal.
Or at least intolerant.
Yeah, I mean, if the team breaks up, the project will probably fail. That's pretty much the lesson that I've learned throughout studio because I made sure the team didn't break up and succeeded. So,
And you are going to have times where people hate each other,
but that happens with anybody, in real life.
This one has zero gravity, by the way.
Not cool.
See up the top right, there's the G-force meter.
So can you rewrite stuff as money now?
Yeah, you can.
That just rotates you, and then you have to use your polarity.
Yeah,
for
that's the
gravity.
thing. You can only rotate yourself and use polarity, so it becomes rather interesting.
And in the level editor, you can also set which direction the gravity goes in.
That is painful. This is a fishing level, isn't it?
yes.
That's
Oh,
That's
I
easy.
see now.
I wonder who made that joke.
See, this level was based off an old Atari game called Fishing Derby. So this is one of the first levels that's actually inspired of something else. Before that, we were going with more just a theme, like we want to have a space level, we want to have something testing this physics.
Jackson tired.
Nice.
That was skill.
Skill. It's all skill. It's all skill. You never say fluck.
It's never luck in this game.
But yeah, if you play a non-gravity level, you might notice that you might actually use your polarity to actually push yourself against the wall, so you can actually move up and down the wall, the less levels, and things like that.
Non-gravity.
And that kind of avoids you from going free for all in the middle of nowhere and having no control.
Initially, yes, but then, like, if you go to the settings screen, you can actually change the triangle,
We did have a lot of arguments.
octagon,
The funniest thing,
parallelogram.
we didn't have arguments about, roles. We didn't have arguments about anything really that big. But when it came to the shape,
What's this one?
someone wanted pentagon. Someone wanted pentagon, and someone wanted a
Someone wanted a
square.
triangle.
So we had arguments over that for freaking 2 weeks. 2 weeks of arguments on a freaking shape. Yeah.
The square's the primary shape. Like, all levels are actually designed for the square, and then the others are just sort of bonus. Some levels are actually impossible
So we
without
sort
the
of
square.
compromised on it. Instead, you can just have a changing of shape.
But never be scared to have an argument or two, because sometimes good things come from it. Like, we argued for weeks about the play shape, and then we ended up just agreeing, well, we'll put all of it in.
Yeah.
Oh
And
no.
it shut everybody up.
Except me.
All constructive.
Constructive argument.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to know about in regards to Monash?
Or iPhone development, because we do have an iPhone development.
Yeah, I've got a question about programming the accelerometer.
Mhm.
What goes into that?
Pretty much. Are you familiar with callbacks and function pointers and stuff? Well, you subscribe to these events, right? And then when the phone gets a message from the accelerometer, it'll pass it on to your program. Then you can use the data that's being sent to it. And similar things with the GPS and stuff like that.
So, how is it programming that?
Sorry,
Like, have you tried programming that?
with the accelerometer, yes.
Okay, how is it?
It's like it pretty much gives you sensitivity values, stuff like that, and then you need to figure out where it is in space and stuff like that.
It's just basically math, probably.
Yeah.
It's like all coding, it's just numbers.
What was the course called again?
IT.
You should remember this.
It's, I think it's Bachelor of
Bachelor of Information Technology, Games Development.
Bachelor of IT with
That was
major
it.
in games development.
Multimedia and game development.
Well, yes, I think that's right.
I mean, if you
Bachelor
do,
of IT and Systems majoring in multimedia games development. We've actually changed.
Thank you, James.
Yeah,
Well,
because
James
multimedia-
is also a member of
it's changed now.
They've changed the multimedia.
Yeah, there is
You should have
a,
changed it?
They've moved it up. The multimedia.
there is a
Okay,
separate
okay,
multimedia
whatever.
course, which is more focused on multimedia and not so much game development. So some people might be more interested in that for animation and that sort of thing.
You want to be more of a 3D artist, and the multimedia is the way to go.
I think that course is done in Clayton as well.
Multimedia.
It's a,
Multimedia is very good.
yeah, but it's not Brooklyn.
No, not at all. You can do something that's a core filter.
Then no other questions?
You're gonna try with a different shape?
Do you want to try different shape?
My way.
You need to put on
Try the last
level,
level.
and then see.
I don't think anyone will beat that one.
That's the point.
Oh.
They said,
Do you guys want to see me fail?
Yep.
What's happening? The last level?
Yeah, show them the last one.
Very hard.
I'll go through the levels as well so you can see everything that's in
Yeah,
there.
I know that, but still.
This is the one we actually have to use the camera to your advantage.
Last level.
Yeah, okay.
inbuilt.
Yeah. Well, we had a level at
Level at
so
advantage.
it's
It's a lot of
really a lot easier.
A lot of fun. Oh, this one looks very hard. All you need to do is hold down one button.
It's quite brilliant.
I do like watching those. It's quite cool.
People sit there for hours playing around trying to
Trying
change
to
it.
figure it out, but it's just yeah, that's what Tom does.
This one's the last one. If everyone
This
wants to
is
try
the
it.
last one. It's on.
accepted.
How about?
Good luck. Tom, with the levels, how did you say the levels? Was it just
XML.
XML?
Yeah.
Although,
Yeah, I'm setting it.
if I knew about JSON back then, I would have used JSON. Is anyone familiar with JSON and XML? JSON's a lot easier.
You see how crazy it is?
Why is Jason easier?
It's. I'll show you the syntax later, but It's a lot easier to pass as well.
Oh, well, it's
That's right.
That's just what I need anyway.
But yeah, there's something built in for it then.
Why am I holding bread?
I don't know. That's actually
They vary in strength.
That's another interesting thing, actually. That a lot of people, we found a lot of people found themselves trying to match the color to the same color to attract.
But
Because
in
they
reality,
found that more
that's not
intuitive.
how magnets work.
So yeah, that's not how it works.
No, it's not how it works. They found it more intuitive, which is very strange.
And let them play all. I started doing it.
And then one of our tutors was for the idea of making it likes attract and opposites repel, and then the other tutor was
Just Matt.
sorry.
Was it Matt that wanted it?
Matt wanted them to be like real magnets, and Derek wanted them to be like not magnets.
Yeah, like you know.
Like nothing.
I think the
Although
most
we also had an idea to change the colors depending on whether your color is being attracted or not attracted, but that would take too long. So
Oh, probably would have been confusing in the end anyway.
Yeah, would have also been very confusing.
The idea works, but yeah, it'd be a bit too confusing.
Whether or not to have tutorial levels was a big question for us for a while. Like, does a game always need tutorial levels or not?
it's never do we need tutorials?
Yeah, it was the argument between progressive disclosure
Or this is how you do this.
and separate section saying tutorial. That's the only argument we had. Both of them are progressive disclosure. It's just one is in a different section, as opposed to just going.
I think we should make this a challenge tournament for whoever can finish this little bit of free game.
I'm up for
Because
that.
we won't give it away because no one will do it.
Hey, it should be about 3 hours. to
Yeah,
finish
no,
this
we can
one.
like put it on a computer and just say, this is the
And,
bipolar.
you know,
This is
I worked on it.
Try.
So.
So,
Well, it's the hardest
It's
level,
frustrating.
so.
how much is it on the App Store?
$3.99. Macintosh App Store, by the way.
Busy version of Bipolar.
Sure.
We don't have any official way of distributing the PC version as yet.
Purely because of Steam and how hard it is to get. And there's
Also, things like piracy, we don't want anyone really sharing
Yeah.
copies around.
You see the Chrome store?
Chrome store, what's that?
The Google. You can like games.
Is that just browser based?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. We have to recode it if you wanted to do that.
It's like Hunger Games.
Lots of code.
Yeah. It's already working out. Just
You can probably get me failing at that level a few times to make you feel better.
I probably can't even beat it right now.
Yeah, because
I'm the guy that made it.
Yeah, I would rather
it's
something
like you have to learn each magnet
Then do that.
strength.
Then do that. Just
To know how to get through it.
Download it from Bipolar Games.
It's usually not a good idea to just get from the first level to the end level.
Even from Steam, you got
Just play it through.
piracy, you can still download all the games.
Lots and lots of trial and error for the level editor.
Sometimes do it. Seeing as I knew every single mechanic, it was
Yeah.
kind of everyone else should.
And you should never make a level guide that a programmer can beat.
You beat it in the end?
Yeah, I'm not talking about that level, I'm talking in general.
Okay.
I beat this one.
So then
Really?
I made,
It took me about 2 hours, but yeah.
Yeah.
That is quicker than Jason.
I could sometimes beat and then nobody else could beat it.
I'm sure he's
This
doing
like
much.
2 hours non-stop getting
Yeah,
very angry.
exactly. You're like,
It took me 4
I actually
hours.
got worse at it by
We didn't go with Flash. I think we weren't allowed to with Studio.
Yeah.
Because
it's too
I think learning C++ gets you far more experience than doing any Flash game.
I mean, Flash is fine.
Flash is great, except
It's kind of easy.
yeah,
It's on the
too
easy
easy.
side when it comes to programming. If you want to be
But if
learning
you wanted to throw
programming.
out game ideas and see how they work,
Yeah.
Flash is good for that.
maybe you just use Game Maker and stuff like that. Though.
If you want.
Can I ask you guys a question? What do you think of the distribution model where, say, we offered the game for free and had the option to donate by PayPal or something like that?
It's worked before,
Yeah.
but that's
I gotta say personally, I wouldn't think.
yeah. It's
The problem is once someone finishes a game, what reason do they have to go back to it?
editing.
Level editor.
Even donate.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
The level editor and if your friends play, you can make levels for each other.
You could always do what id Software used to do and distribute, say, like the first tutorial part, and then they have to donate a bit of money, and then they get the level editor of the rest of the levels.
Yeah.
It worked for id Software.
That was something we were considering, like releasing a demo version.
This is cruel.
Make this just.
It is. It's
I don't think we get any perks from that.
Who wants to play the rest of the game?
God no.
Make it the first level. How about that?
Yeah, make it get easier rather than harder.
Yeah, again backwards.
and
The last level was just that. Roll.
Yeah.
yeah. Well.
You know what you should have on the background of this? Please donate.
Make it flash.
I think you
Which
just
way troll face in back there?
Turn the cube into a troll face.
You can just say the previous level is the last one, and then they get to this.
We've been millionaires.
Nice. Now you're gonna work out how to go past that.
Remember you shut it.
Old camera
Go now.
isn't it?
You got freeze when you fall.
Someone else gonna go. I want it, it's hard.
It's
Not just hard, it's actually
not just hard.
Do you want to explain a bit camera move so they understand how they
Or do you think? Do you guys want to know how to do the camera move, or do you guys just want to guess it out?
Counterclockwise, clockwise.
Because that's the trickiest part of the last
I think that's how it works. But, I mean, like,
It's really.
Damn it! We know how it works, we just can't do it physically.
Physically impossible.
just use blue.
Where are pole guns where you No.
Yeah.
Look like some of the easy ones.
How long did it take you to make this level?
2 hours.
3 or 4 hours.
I mean, something like this, you could
3 or 4 hours to make it. 30 days to beat it.
actually put it together. You can do it in like 10 minutes, but then you got to fine tune it all.
Yeah, that's right.
You gotta make sure it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First you got to think of the level. Think of the challenge you want to go
So,
through.
why did you make this?
Sorry.
How generic or outside the
You are an
scope.
evil person.
Yes, she is an evil person. That's why we said that if you're gonna make this level, it's gotta have to be last and no harder than that.
I think Jason was fighting for a few weeks to get it out of the game.
Yes.
Until he beat it, and then he realized it was
I
actually.
never lost that fight.
I like games that have that one level that you have to like sacrifice a code of midnight to beat.
Yeah. And that's
It's just that
the
I was so
level.
frustrated with that level the first time I played it. I played it for an hour and I beat it and went, I hate this.
How long's alright?
I can imagine like the angry German kid playing Josh. You see the angry German kid?
Yeah, yeah.
It reminds me of like some of the Super Meat Boy levels.
Challenger.
that's what happens with most team games. If you play any team game and you're playing with someone who doesn't exactly know what they're doing, it becomes really frustrating very quickly.
Unless you're trying to kill
Team
someone.
Fortress 2, I play medic, so stuff like that. Yeah, so you know. Yeah, exactly. Don't have someone to protect you. You're dead. I mean, you know.
Once I was
I
playing
passed
medic,
the time by killing my partner before the call.
Main spy check medic.
once I was a medic, and I had this heavy, that whenever I got low on health, he gave me the sandwich.
Yeah, that's a good heavy. You can tell it's a good heavy if he does that.
Like some easy ones though? He's given up.
Do you want me to?
Tom, you do it.
No, Tom can do it. Yes, Tom.
You're an evil bad person.
Your shirt, but I
Oh
would
my.
He loves you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He was an Nazi.
Oh.
Yeah, Sam, what was that thing that you did?
Go, go, go.
It's a trap.
I'm attacking.
Yeah.
Get to the last round.
That's the first time I actually like.
I kid you not, I died right at that corner when I was doing about 2 hours in. I died at that corner and I chucked the thing.
I got the debug controls in.
Oh, don't turn those on.
No debug.
One was simply not fall into
Has anyone done it when you're not shaking?
Actually, no, I did it with the
Triangle.
Octagon?
Octagon or Triangle. I can't remember. I didn't do it with the parallel.
Maybe motivate people by every time you
No,
die.
Octagon
Come
doesn't
on.
fit.
The creators on
I told you that before.
They got right up. It's called the level 3.
It's just the arrows, that's it. It's not that.
Oh, man. You're rushing it.
He's trying to show off.
I like how you jump as you jump in.
But I already did.
Yeah, you already are there.
So we've got 10 minutes if you guys.
Oh, yeah,
Anything
sure.
else?
What's the hardest game any of you have ever played?
Hardest game.
Actually, it's Bipolar.
I want to be the guy.
Depends on what you're talking about. Arcade.
Like this sort of game.
Mentally.
Okay.
Like try playing Rock Band on drums and that's crazy.
Yes, that is hard. Through the fire and flame.
Yeah, through the fire say, every single one of your levels is like unforgiving.
Sure. Which is a very pixel perfect kind of levels.
This one sort of is.
You'll be in the right position at the end, right angle, just for it to work.
Oh.
Oh, I get it. That's funny.
Is it really funny?
I've never hit a place that's like that before, so you
I'm trying to
How many
think.
times does that happen?
it's like running through a water zone.
Oh, this is awesome.
I wonder where you got the idea for this song from.
Oh, I know.
I don't know.
Tough.
Like tough.
The game
I
is
know.
Oh, you.
And it's just
No cheating, Tom. No debug.
It's just pretty much more.
This reminds me of something I watched in an arcade.
I think I think
Astro.
I think
Really having that much of a hard time. Maybe? What are you doing?
I don't know. Obviously.
You know they're making movie?
Yeah, I know.
Making what?
Asteroids into a movie.
I don't know.
What? How are you gonna make a movie out of
There's
that?
an option there. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't like
But they already do that with Armageddon.
Yeah.
Whereas Space Invaders got some.
Oh, this one is pretty.
This is one of those pixel perfect levels. You've got to be at the right angle at the right point.
It really is.
Only works at that one spot.
You removed that star, didn't you?
Which star?
There used to be a really obvious star that you can aim at to get it perfect. Yeah, I remember that
I
one.
mean the background.
Yeah, in the background.
Isn't it random?
Oh, that's true. It makes random. Shows how long time ago I did this. Anyway, yeah, so that is us, I guess.
So you guys did this last year?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
last year. About 8 months.
And we could easily have just done what we did in the first semester, did no work for the second semester at all, and we would have been fine.
I mean, then we wouldn't have had a level of it.
That's
Yes,
true, and we wouldn't have had something that could, you know.
Fail none.
There would be no sound of music.
What? We wouldn't get a fail mark.
Nah.
If we did nothing in second
Oh,
semester.
they won't know.
We could write down that we did something. I mean, come on. Cover your tracks at least. Oh man.
I mean, the studio class is not so much about what you end up with, it's more how you got there. So you got to document everything you do and have a diary, that sort of thing.
That's probably the one thing that I hated the most.
So
Project
if-
manager, what did I do? I wrote an XML file.
Even if you don't have good product at the end, it's a really good learning experience.
Yes, definitely.
You come out of it having learned so much.
Did you ever consider adding cats to this game?
Hacks.
I don't know. I think Steam has already cornered that market, you know?
That would have like allowed you to make more sales on it. Like the Mac App Store, then you could run Steam.
I can't believe they did that to that game.
There was be some maximums to be agreed. I just around every month make more levels.
Yeah, put us in-app purchase.
That's an insane strength, you know that?
You'll see.
Yes, but I don't remember having that big of a strength. I think someone said they need more strength to make sure it's right. Yeah.
Shelf the next level.
No final questions?
No final questions? Done? Yeah. That's us. Thank you for listening. And hopefully you will
So everyone get going or is Alright.
You guys make me laugh. Seriously.
If anyone would like to free copy for Windows,
Free stuff.
distribute it.
Bought a piece of him.
Don't sell it.
Thank you.
If it ends up on torrents, we know where it came from.
Yeah. Take photos of all you guys so we know who.
Nah, God, I'm not. I can never. And I'll be contributing.
Hope you know about code signing.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys.
That's the last level,